Now, first of all, I want to tell you what is an a hook joint or also the universal joint. So, as we in the previous class we have discussed about a single hook joint. So, single hook joint it is nothing but either any one of the shaft. It will be horizontally connected. It is like a parallel shaft, 0 degree. The shaft it will be located, and the another shaft it will make the inclination that we call as a single hook joint. Okay, as we classify the hook joint in a two types. One single hook joint, another one double hook joint. Okay, so single hook joint is nothing but one, it should be like a straight, and another shaft it will make the some inclination. Okay, so in the first unit also you have studied there is a one couplings. So couplings also can use to connect the two shafts. Okay, so the couplings can when the axis of both the shafts are parallel. Okay, and also there is a one more type that is Olympus coupling that also you have studied. Okay, so that is an that will be used when the axis of both the shafts are non. So in that case we use the Olympus coupling also. So in the similar manner there will be again this hook joint. So hook joints also used to connect the two shafts, and also when the axis of both the shafts are non-parallel and intersecting shaft. Okay, so what is the difference between this Olympus coupling and the universal coupling? So Oldham's coupling, when a small angular displacement, like a small uh, angle of inclination, small, you can take for 0 to 10 degree, like that. Okay, a small, whenever there is a small alignment is there between these two shafts, then generally we go for couplings. Okay, where it can resist the small inclination and it can produce the power from one shaft to the another shaft. But there may be some variations in the angular speed also. That is a secondary, but is for the small angular inclination, then we'll go for couplings. But what is the hook joint? So when you can go for hook joint, the angular displacement or the when the angle of inclination is more. Okay, so more means it may be at an angle of 30 degree or 45 degree. Okay, so if the angle of inclination is more, then we'll go for the this joints. Okay, that is the universal joints. But in generally, if you took the automobile where one end it will be connect with the top end, and again it will be inclined. It make the inclination at an angle of theta, or you can say alpha, and another end there will be rear wheel where the another shaft it will be connected. So between these the rear wheel and the engine where there will be power can be transmitted from engine to gearbox, then again the big gearbox it will transmit the power to the rear wheel. But that is not possible with a single shaft because the angle of inclination is more. So that's what we will adapt the hook joints, where hook joint can perform the power, can transmit whatever the power it is transmitted from the engine. So same power can be transmitted to the rear wheel. Okay, so in theoretically we can say that the same amount of power will be generated through the both the shaft. But when you go for the actual application, there may be a small slightly variation will be there in the practical cases. So coming to components, okay. So universal joint is a mechanical joint to connecting the shafts. Those axes are inclined at an angle of each other. It is also known as universal couplings or U joint. So it is also be called as U joint, Cardan joint, and hook joint. So there are different used in a so it compensates angular misalignment between the in any direction. A universal joint is a joint coupling in a rigid rod that allows the rod to bend in any direction and is commonly used in the shaft that transmit the rotary motion. It consists of a pair of hinges located close together, oriented at 90 degrees to each other, connected by a cross shaft. Okay, cross shaft that there is a center that is in the form of a cross or a sphere where there will be four links. All links it will be connected with these fork ends. So that we have studied in the previous. It is a constant. It is not a constant velocity joint. Okay, as you can see, it is not a constant velocity joint. So there will be some variations. The universal joint suffers from the one major problem. Even when the input shaft axle rotates at a constant speed, the output drive shaft axis rotates at a variable speed, as I discussed. The parts of universal clearly by taking the look into the view as shown in the figure. You can understand what are the different components it will be used to make the assemble of the universal joints. Okay, so first the fork is not because if someone have the if they observe the can get the idea of the joints, but if you not imagine, if you not go through the virtual imagination, then it will be difficult to make understanding. Okay, so now in this diagram you can easily understand how the parts it will be designed and it will be manufactured. So here there will be mainly two components, one fork, okay, fork end. So this fork end it will be same at the both the shaft, so shaft 1 and shaft 2. So these joints again it will, you can see, so it is a totally, it is not the integral part of the shaft. The joint is not the integral part, so it will be a separate. Okay, this separate joint, it is like the walls it will be used in the plumbing, right? Same thing, it will be a separate. So where two shafts it will be cutted at their ends. Now these to be assembled with the help of keys, or it may be different welding process, or you can take any joining process. So using that it will be assembled the shaft and the fork end it will be assembled. And we required some of the washers to make the tolerance. And here, and this is very important, the center one, that is which is said as center block. Okay, so center block, it is like you can see one is a hollow shaft, another it will be connected with a one incline. It is nothing but one vertical, another is lying at the horizontal. So one vertical one, it will be inserted in one fork, and the horizontal one it will be inserted into the another fork end. So now these two center block it should be assembled with the both the forked end, so that we can again go for taking the fin. So this will be pin where it will be inserted again from the top, this one where you can see taper pin. So this taper pin it will be inserted for the this fin. So both collar for the pin and the taper pin, both will be having the same diameter. After that a key it will be inserted through the pin. There will be a small hole will be provided. So there the pin will be inserted. Like that the assembly it will be arranged. Okay, so this is for your general knowledge, because as a mechanical engineer you should know the different components of the assembling. Okay, so once it is assembled in the animation, it will be arranged. Okay, so all are very precision product, or after assembling, you can see this joint. So it is called as a single hook joint. Okay, so single hook joint, it means any one shaft, it will be in the lying on the horizontal axis. Only second one, it may be left or right one, it will make the inclination. Other it will be in the same at a 0 degree, you can say, or 180 degree. It is lying on the horizontal axis. So what you mean by double? Okay, so how you can make the differentiate of double hook joint? So it is just simple. In single hook joint, any one shaft it make the where in case of double hook joint, there both the shafts. Okay, so both the shafts it will make the inclination. So whether it will be same inclination or different inclination, that is the second question. Okay, so some of the joints it will make the same inclination, and some of the joints it may not be same. Okay, so when you can say it will be a double hook joint, so whenever the inclination between the both the shaft is same, for example in the left if it is made as 10 degree, again in the right also, the right shaft also it should make the same angle of inclination, that is against 10 degree, then it will be called as a double hook joint. Okay, or double universal joint. Universal joint has a wide range of application. It shafts, automobile propeller shafts, stone crusher, where you can see any wherever it is a requirement, whenever there is a inclination, even in the stone crusher you can see there will be inclination of the our conveyor, where the it can transmit the belt from one end to the another end with some inclination, so it may be used in that case also. So I am not sure where it will be exactly, yeah, inserted in the stone crusher. And also tapping machinery. So tapping is nothing but to make the internal threads whenever there should be make any internal threads or internal holes, that will be called as tapping. And again centrifugal blowers, in the blowers also it is going to be used. Centrifugal fans, pumps, belt conveyor, control mechanisms, marine equipment, metal forming machinery, and sockets. So here in the automobiles, to take the example, generally the propeller shaft and also in the uh, hook joint, it will be used in the automobile. In this case, you can easily imagine how it will be connected between the engine to the rear wheel, where it is at the end. You can see there is, that is called as a differential. So differential means the wheel are turning whenever if you are taking the turning. So this differential gearbox, it is also called as a differential gearbox. So that will help you to take the turning whenever if you take the left or right turning. So the as you have studied steering mechanism, different types of steering mechanism. So when the vehicle is making the turning, so you cannot make both the wheels turning at a time at a same angle of inclination. It cannot be happen when without having the differential gearbox. So this differential gearbox, it will make the balancing of the wheels when you are taking the turning. So again that case you require the universal joints. So in automobile it will be used. And these are the theoretical calculation which you already derived. What will be the velocity and what will be the angular velocity omega? Okay, so theta by tan phi, how you have made everything you understand. And in the line diagram, it may not be imagine as if you follow the textbook. So here it is easy for you to make the imagination of these two joints. So one it will be like a sky blue color, and another it will be in the maroon color, where shaft 1, shaft 2, and the angle made by shaft 1, it will be beta 1 and beta 2 for shaft 2. So like that, it will be made angle of rotation for the XL 1. So XL is in the shaft 2, gamma 1, gamma 2, and beta 1 is the bend angle of the joint. So after that, you have to derive this equation also. So you can check for this, but there is no derivation. General universal joint, and this is very important if you are going for or if you are preparing for any competitive exam, because many questions, as I observed, there will be many questions and many equation related small problems to calculate the omega or to calculate the theta. So many questions it may ask, and how the universal joint it will be connected by coplanar, non-intersecting, intersecting. So you should be very perfect to answer the problems which will be asked in competitive examination. So that's all. After saying to share with you guys. So that is for the today class. Hope it was helpful for you. Okay, so let us have some problems on this, which I already share in the group, and go through the different problems which will be asked in the examination. So you can try for the problems. Okay, so anyhow, in the next class, I will come with the second type of joint, that is on second means double hook joint or double universal joint. So that derivation we'll make, and we'll try to understand how it will be uh, designed and how it will be assembled. Okay, so thank you guys for joining, who are all joined for this time, and due to some reason I was unable to attend in the morning session. So hopefully by tomorrow morning also it will happen with the same situation. Okay, so I apologize for the uh, this one. Okay, so if you have any queries in your mind, you can share with me. Anything which you are having, or anything you can ask. Okay, then I think there is no question in your mind related to this. Okay, so have a good night.